Hello, everyone. Welcome in. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. I had a serious week, but I hope that you all are doing well. It is Friday, and welcome to the live. Welcome to the chat. Make sure you go down in the chat if you would like to say hello or anything. I see one person was in the building. But listen, I wanted to ask the question, what are you putting on the inside? And a lot of times people would think that, you're talking about the food and things like that. I see Rudy just walked in. It's 5:27 where you're at. It's 6:27 over here. Loving myself. How are you? How have you been? Are you doing content? What's going on? I know that it could be challenging at first to fit making content into your schedule, but listen, there's a moment every day where you should be able to like just get a little something in. You've been doing good with the shorts, but I hope that you are still on board to make content. So I wanted to talk about, what are you putting on the inside? A lot of people are getting houses. This is the season, where people are starting to house hunt and get houses. And even though the economy be doing what it's doing, there's still people purchasing homes. Maybe you're moving into an apartment, a townhouse, whatever the case may be, getting a vacation spot, wherever it is that you're going to lay your head, people are still in the business of getting them. I'm glad that you're still trying. Keep trying. Don't give up, for sure. So it made me think about, hearing people talk about the things that they're putting into their new homes, or people are decorating because it's a new season. Some people do things to kind of spruce up their homes for the different seasons, different holidays, especially the holidays, putting up your lights, your Christmas tree, your decor, and just making everything just so. And listen, just imagine if you put that much effort into what you put in your body. What are you putting inside? What are you putting inside your home is so important. People want each room to have its own identity. You want to have your color palette. You may have some heirlooms that you're going to put in, some pieces of furniture, that Afghan that your great aunt may have made for you. You want to make sure that stays on the guest room bed, just different things. But what are you putting inside yourself? Not just in food, because a lot of times when you hear that, people think, well, I eat pretty clean, or I do pretty well with what I eat. And that's great. So you are considering what you're putting inside. But what about the things you're putting in your mind, the conversations that you're having? And I see Hakeem Thomas is in the building. Thank you for being here. Okay. And also, I don't know how to say your name. Let me see. But you're saying hi. And that's Sintimba Matala. Hello to you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, and welcome to everyone that's here watching, stopping by. You may have been scrolling through YouTube and say, wait, what is she talking about? So I just wanted to say, be mindful of what you're putting into your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul, just like you are considering what you're putting into your dwelling, your home, your place of residence. Don't put more emphasis on the material things that you're surrounding yourself with versus what you are putting into yourself, so that you could be healthy and have joy when you're in those spaces. There's so many neighborhoods, amazing neighborhoods, where you'll see a beautiful home, well manicured landscape, just everything is right there. But when you drive by at night, maybe they don't have any window treatments at all up to their window. Maybe the house doesn't have furniture. It's empty inside. And, people are just walking around inside like zombies, not speaking to each other. That's an emptiness. So don't just have everything looking good on the outside when there's a lot of emptiness, or a lot of echo chambers, a lot of nothingness going on the inside. They always say the beauty radiates from the inside out. And that's true, because it's what you're putting into yourself. It's the conversations you're having, the things that you're listening to, the things that you're reading, that's pouring into your brain, into your mind. That has an effect or impact on the output of what people see on the outside. So if you see people that are, really downtrodden or disgruntled all the time, consider what they're putting inside of them. And again, it's not always just the food. It could be the most active, most healthiest people that are unhappy. And that's because the things that they're putting into their minds, into their brain, into their space. So I just wanted to stop by here to just share that, because I actually had a really deep conversation about that just the other day. And, just starting to notice the things that people are putting more emphasis on, and the things that they really are gun ho, like, oh, I gotta have this, or this has to be just right, but they're not taking that same time and energy and effort for their own selves and their own life. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm on a crusade. I'm on this path. I'm on this place. I'm going to this place trying to make sure my future self is straight. And that means inside and out. That means the things that I think about, the things that I read about, the things that I talk about, they all have to be aligned with things that are going to help me continue to radiate from the inside out. I don't want to have a shell that looks like, oh, the structure is good, the foundation is great, it's all brick, what, it can withstand weather. But if the inside is empty, those walls will come tumbling down, and we don't want that. So be mindful that your entire structure, your entire being is strong, tight, and right, for sure. I see Coach Mean Reen is in the building. Good day to you. Hope that you had a wonderful week, and congratulations, what? On being monetized. Congratulations. That's a wonderful, amazing accomplishment. That is so dope. I mean, you grind hard for that, and you deserve it and more. And I'm excited to see. Next thing you know, you're going to get that silver plaque from YouTube talking about 100,000K subscribers. So you deserve it for sure. Hats off to you. And, so again, just thinking about that, when, think about the car. There's people that will do anything to keep their car buffed. I know back in the day, people used to get their cars washed on a weekly basis. My brothers, they had friends that their family owned a car wash, and it was a detailing car wash. And so I'm talking about the baddest of the baddest, best of the best, bad meaning good, best of the best cars used to go to their detailing shop. It was in Fort Lee, New Jersey, just before you got to the George Washington Bridge. I mean, you would see all kind of celebrities there, athletes, just whatever. Everybody went and got their cars detailed. But you have to wonder, when they drove away, were they detailing their life just like they were taking care of and detailing their car? Were they that specific with the things that they put inside of themselves, like they were with that one spot? You missed that spot. Think about women, especially women. I mean, men too, going to the barbershop, but women spending hours at the beauty salons, and listen, it's still hours. It's amazing. But I have one of the dopest stylists here in Charlotte. She don't play that. I'm in and out, so I appreciate that, because she respects everyone's time, because that's what it comes down to, the respect of the time of your clients, and so just like, they want you to respect them. So if you have an appointment, you need to get there at a certain time, and you want them to respect you. So when you have that appointment, you want to get there, be able to get in that chair and be out. So that same effort, that same energy that you put into getting your hair done, your nails done, hair done, nails done, everything did. It is Friday, y'all. So yes, nails done, hair done, everything did. Imagine if you put that same effort, that same energy, come with that same vigor as you do with with your internal. Taking those moments at the hair salon, instead of talking about this, that, and the other, how about reading a book? How about talking about a book that you've read? I was just talking to a group of women the other day, and I mentioned this in one of my videos, of how important reading is, and how we need to get on it. We need to be on it, because there's something in these books. I don't know which book to tell you, but there's something in these books that they're putting in these books and trying to keep from us, because they know we're not going to read it. See, I read because my ancestors couldn't. I read because my ancestors wanted to read, and I'm their wildest dream. If you have a big dream, if you have a wild dream, You expect that dream to live out your wildest fantasy, your your wildest hopes, your wildest joy, like the thing that you most want to have happen. You want your dream to really live that out. So we're living the dreams of our ancestors. So we're living that dream. If they wanted to read but couldn't learn letters, couldn't put, words together, they would get beat, killed, sold, just tortured just to read. And we don't have those same obstacles, and we won't and don't. So we need to read. We need to read. Listen, reading is one of the reasons why my husband and I got into real estate in the first place. When we read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki back in around, it was about 2001 or 2002. Let me see. No, it was like 2001, 2000, around 2000, 2001. When I tell you that book was a game changer, and you need books like that too. You don't need just books that, will give you the information. You need stories, you need narratives, you need novels. But that book right there has me shopping different, has me spending my money different. When I go to the store, I look at things, is this a need or is this a want? Is this an asset or a liability? And understanding and truly understanding the difference. That's the key. Helping you have better relationships with your money. And that comes more than just having those conversations. It also comes through reading. Reading is very fundamental. So what are you putting inside of yourself? What are you putting inside? And so I want you to pause and think about that, because again, often people just think about the foods that we eat. Oh, but I eat clean, I eat healthy, Coach Sherri. I only eat salads for lunch. I only eat yogurt for breakfast. I only drink this or that. Okay, cool. But if you fill in your mind with nothingness, with things that are not going to serve you so that you can move forward with that healthy eating and whatnot, then it's not going to be any good. Oh, you have this beautiful home. Oh, okay. So now you have that nice car, because you can't just drive your hoopty up in this neighborhood. Now you got to get the nice car. But what are you putting inside of yourself as you're driving that nice car? What are you putting inside of yourself as you open the door to that beautiful exterior home and the inside looks like, construction paint still? What are you doing to improve yourself? It's so much more than what you see. And you have to be more than what you see. Your future self deserves that. And so I see it all the time, and it's really about choices that people make. It's about what people deem important, and it might be because of their beliefs. It might be, the way that they were raised, their experiences in life. It's like, oh, I have to show out. I have to make sure I'm gonna go broke, but on they come in, but we're gonna go broke to get everything together, and then when they leave, we'll figure it out. It's like having that huge Christmas that that you couldn't afford for your children, and instead, you could have gotten them $100 savings bond or $100 in an investment versus $500 in toys that they only going to play with that one day. And sitting down and explaining to them the value of what you just got them versus the knick-knack paddywhack stuff that they wanted. Maybe buy them stock in that particular toy company that they really wanted. That's more valuable than that toy that's going to be one and done, possibly broken after the first time it was played with. So what are you putting inside? What are you putting inside of your spirit? What are you allowing yourself to really like lean on? Are you just saying, I'm in this alone, Coach Sherri. This life is rough. I'm in it by myself. Are you not leaning on God's word? Listen, when you start thinking about the possibilities of things, and I had another video the other day about intentional serendipity. It is so dope. It's so real. It's so amazing, because your focus could be so laser, and we talk about the intentionality and being intentional with it. It could be so focused until you don't even hear the other stuff. There's so much stuff going on. I could barely hear the other stuff because I'm so focused on what I'm doing, you know? And some people will try to discourage you and tell you what they wouldn't do. I remember I had an opportunity, and I did it, to rewrite a policy. I never wrote a policy before, but I had this opportunity to rewrite a policy so that it could remove some barriers for people that, yeah, the original policy was cool, but it was a barrier for many. And so I rewrote it so to remove those barriers, to make it more accessible, to make it more attractive, to make it more impactful for everyone, not just for a few, but for everyone. And I remember when I got that to do, and someone said, I wouldn't do that. That's not what you do. I would never do that. And that's why you would never. And I was like, some people that say that, what they wouldn't do, don't let that fall on you. Cause that thing right there propelled me so far. And not a lot of people can say that they've written policy that has gotten signed and, sealed, delivered in, in the books. And that's impactful. Imagine if I would have been like, you're right, I'm not doing this. This is not what I do. I don't even know how to do this. If I would have did it scared, you can't play scared either. When you put in good things inside of you, you can't play scared because there's nothing to be scared of. What, are you scared of your success? Are you scared that it's going to work? Are you scared that it's going to blow up and you don't know how to act? You don't know how to perform? That's when you get those coaches, the executive coaches, the fitness coaches, so that you can be prepared all around. So you don't have to worry about that. That's that whole phrase. And it really kind of I started hearing it more at the beginning of COVID. We got to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Because when things come to you and you accept those assignments, yeah, great things will come. So when you focus on those great things that are coming to you, those big things, those big projects, big collaborations, when you meeting these people, you're finding the common denominator. Whenever I meet someone, I try to find the common denominator. What connects us? Why should we be connected? Why should we collaborate after this meeting? I'm always looking for that connection, because you just never know. You just never know. So your inside has to be good and filled with great things. So when you meet people that, or you go to places that are game changers for you, you're at that table having regular conversations because you've opened up, you've lived your life out loud. You've seized the moments and you've poured into yourself, and not just into the tangibles. Tangible things are nice, don't get me wrong, trust. Don't get me wrong, but the focus, the laser focus on those things, and not on, how you're showing up, how you're looking, how you're talking, how you feel. Ooh, how you feel. Some people get bent out of shape over the tangible things, and not so much on how things are going for them inside. It all starts inside. I see Akusa Fury, I think is the name. Hello to you. Thank you for being here. BG, that is BG. I know BG for real. How are you doing? What is up to you? Thank you. Thank you, loving myself. I appreciate that. I just, we all have a shot to be the best we can be, right? But sometimes it's challenging because you don't know, you haven't heard, you haven't seen. And so that's another thing for YouTube, is to hopefully be able to reach people that have never been exposed to certain things. I still learn on YouTube a lot. I learn in life a lot. I love learning from other people, listening to them talk about their journeys and how they've overcome certain things, or the successes of where they're at right now, and seeing them continue to thrive and grow and just do dynamic things. I love that because I know there's room at the table for all of us. So it's a matter of giving people their flowers while they're here, but also sharing your own flowers, because you receive them, but you have to give them out. And that comes in words, words of wisdom, words of experience, words of motivation, of inspiration, so that you can transform. A lot of people, they know they do not because they know not. And we can't rely on television, on celebrities, on athletes, on the church, on the school, always to give you everything that you need. You have to take nuggets from all areas in life. But I just wanted to share that with you, and just also to so that you may not be able to share your thoughts right now in this live, but just let it marinate. Have conversations with those in your circle about this topic. What's most important? Is it the way that you look on the outside? Is the way that the home that you live in looks? Is it your car? How the rims are, how clean they are? I mean, you want to have clean things, but if you're not also doing that for yourself, then what you really doing? I'm not saying not to have those nice things, but if the focus is just on those nice things, what are you really doing? That's just my question. What are you really doing? I'm gonna mod BG. That's so wild that you call yourself that. So I hope I gave you some food for thought, for something for you to consider. Considering, what are you putting in yourself? It could even be within a relationship. What are you putting in yourself? Considering other people's experiences, backgrounds, drama, happiness, sadness, whatever, that comes with them. That comes with them. Hi, Mary's Life Journey. How are you? I am enjoying your book. I hope you're doing well. I didn't even see you come in. Yeah. So it's a beautiful day here. I had a wonderful lunch outdoors. It was kind of humid, an overcast, but under the trees where I was sitting, it was a nice little, slightly a breeze. You got to take advantage of these moments, because it's going to get to a point where it's too hot to sit outside. So I'm definitely taking advantage of that now. My daughters went to the Beyonce concert in Chicago last night, and they said it was amazing. 10 out of 10, and all explanation marks after that. And they've been to her previous 2 concerts. I went to one with them, and they went to the one before without me, and they went to this one. I was going to go with them, but y'all, I got some things going on. I'm not even mad at it. It's keeping me busy for sure. But the information that I'm receiving, the knowledge I'm getting just from doing what I'm doing is like so priceless, and it's going to take me so far. I know it. And so I decided to, do some grown woman stuff and do what I needed to do here. So I'm not even mad at it, because I'm so excited just for this, but I'm happy for them. That's definitely something I would have done in my 20s. I love that, my children live out loud and do what, they go where the wind takes them. They do their thing. You're supposed to do that when you're young. I try to hang, but I can't really hang like that. And when they told me how they got to the stadium last night, they walked, and then they took the train, and then they walked some more. Y'all, I wouldn't have been able to hang with all that. And then it poured down raining, and the concert was outdoors in an outdoor stadium in Chicago. And there was a tornado watch too. It was crazy. They said the rain was torrential, and it was about an hour. And so it stopped, and then the concert started. The concert started later than it was supposed to, but it still started. And they said it was just so good. And I know it was. It was funny because the first concert I went to of hers, of Beyonce's, I didn't want to go. You know, my husband got 3 tickets for us to go, and it was in Atlanta. And I was like, I'll take y'all, but I'm not going to the concert. I'm good. I've seen great concerts, you know, Budweiser Superfest back in the day in New York and New Jersey. It was dope. So I'm like, what concerts you're going to, where, who, when, and whatever. It's overkill. It's overrated. And so when we got there, you know, I was going to just drop them off, and I saw all the people like rushing, like some money was being given out. I was like, what they giving away over there? And so I said, you let me go into this concert for a little while and let me just see what it's all about. Y'all, I never sat down. It was so good. I had such a good time. So yeah, live each day just full of life. As long as you have life, live, and may the life you live speak for you. So yeah, I hope everyone had an exciting moment this week. I did for sure. And make sure you capture it so you don't ever forget it, and always build upon it and extract those nuggets from that moment, because you definitely grew from it. You grew from it. And it's going to just enrich your inside and make it so beautiful. It'll decorate the walls of your inside, and that room will be complete. Yes. All right. Well, that's all that I wanted to come on here to chat with you about. And I hadn't been coming live all week like I had planned to. I've had long days, and just sometimes the information that I was receiving was so much to process. And I actually had to do a lot of reading and a lot of summarizing. And so basically it was like editing, which is something that I've done before. You know, I've worked in law firms on Wall Street, and that's what I did as an editor, you know, reviewing information and summarizing it. And so that's what I was doing today. I mean, not today, all week. And it's been a lot, but I've been loving every moment of it for sure. Thank you, loving myself. You have a blessed weekend too. I'm looking forward to it. I believe tomorrow, hopefully, I will be hanging out with my son. Yeah. So I hope everyone has a great day. Get some vitamin D, some natural vitamin D. Do what you do, and be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. Look at yourself and say, you know what? I love you so much. I'm considering your tomorrow. So I'm going to do everything I can right today. I'm going to eat well, be well, laugh often, and just enjoy life, so that when you look back on this day, you will tell me thank you. Thank you. All right. So you all take care, stay safe, and remember, practice every day. When I tell you to practice every day, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You don't know who's watching. Sometimes the owner, the GM, the powers that be will be at that practice, just walking by, checking out who is the next, who got next. You gonna say, I got next, because look at this, because they know whatever you do in practice, that you will rinse and repeat and do that in the game. So if you showing up for practice, half doing it, you know, just there barely, you know, sitting there, not just looking at a blank screen, or, you know, just not really being a good collaborator or innovator or creative, not contributing anything, you're going to do that in the game. You sure are. You're going to do that in the game. So play all out in practice as if it was the game. So when you get into that game, you will always play to win. It's been my pleasure talking with you this evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time of day it is for you watching this, especially if you're watching it on a replay. And I want to thank those that have been rocking with me, and the new ones that has joined the team and said, you know what? I want to hang out with Coach Sherri. I want to be on her team. So I want to thank you for that. All right, everyone, take care and stay safe. I'll talk to you later.